Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity basketball is live and on the air. We are live here at the main gym of Pioneer High School, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity basketball team taking on the Monroe Trojans. Earlier today, it was the freshman squad beating Monroe 60-31, and the JV game just wrapped up as Pioneer won that one 58-44. The varsity squad trying to follow suit and sweep the day, but of course the Monroe Trojans are going to have something to say about that. Taking a look, Pioneer 7-5 on the season. They have 3 wins in a row right now, coming off of a win back on the 29th versus Howell. That was a 53-40 win. They won in overtime versus Dexter. They've now gone to overtime both times they played Dexter. That was a 61-60 win right here at Pioneer back on the first. And then they beat Saline, a huge day last Friday, as both the men and the women's varsity teams beat Saline. Fantastic job by both squads. For the Pioneer men's team, it was 50-45. So Pioneer coming on 3-game win streak, looking to keep that going. 7-5 overall. Let's take a look at the Trojans. They are 5-8 overall. They started with a 5-game losing streak as they lost to Skyline 40-39. Tight game there. Lost to Dexter 51-39. Lost to Pioneer earlier in the season. That was on the 17th. And that was back, on the 17th. That was a 58-53 win by Pioneer. Then they lost to Ferndale. That was 82-64. And they lost to Airport, 58-56. 3 wins then, right in the middle, stacked. Starting off this calendar year, they won on the 4th versus Roosevelt. That was a 82-43 win. They beat Lincoln. That was back on the 11th, 69-59, and they beat Pinckney. That was back on the 14th. That was a 56-55 win. They had 2 losses after that, as Saline beat them 69-46, and Huron beat them 69-55. They beat Bedford. That was over at Monroe. That was a 46-55 win. Then they lost to Skyline, 57-41. Then beat Dexter. So they're coming off of a win versus Dexter. So they've kind of gone back and forth, loss, win, loss, win. That was a 59-56 loss. So versus Pioneer here, 5-8 for Monroe, 7-5 for Pioneer. Next game for Pioneer coming up after this is going to be at Bedford away on the 11th, 7 p.m. game. For Monroe, their next game is going to be, they go over to Lincoln. That will be at Lincoln on the 11th, 7 p.m. game. We have 1:58 seconds counting down now. Before we get going, let's play a quick couple messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Pioneer gathered around, clapping it up as Pioneer in their home jerseys as they are about to take off the warm-ups. Monroe gathered around their coaching staff. We're about to have the starting national anthem and the starting lineups. As John hops on the mic, Pioneer will start off with the national anthem as Pioneer gets lined up on the free throw line to our right. Monroe lined up the free throw line to our left. So, to honor America, ladies and gentlemen, the playing of the national anthem. Now we'll have the starting lineups. Pioneer in their home white jerseys with the purple numbers on the front and on the back. Pioneer in block lettering across the top of the front. White shorts and gray and white trim. On them, Monroe in their red jerseys. Monroe in script across the front, numbers in white on the front and on the back with the red shorts. The officials have their stripes on and got their warm-ups off. And
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. And for Pioneer High School, its athletics department, and its men's
John welcoming everybody into the main gym.
alumni and fans of the Monroe Spartans, Trojans to tonight's game against your Ann Arbor Pioneer.
As we are getting ready, cheer squad in over to our right. We appreciate them being here.
For Monroe, number 3, senior forward,
Nichols coming out, starting for the Trojans.
senior forward, Elijah
Klein starting for Pioneer.
32, senior forward, Corbin Guyman.
Guyman comes out for
Senior forward,
Monroe.
Josh Turman.
Turman starting for Pioneer.
Monroe, number 4, senior guard, Andrew McCarthy.
McCarthy starting for Monroe, comes out to our left.
Number 22, a senior forward, Josiah Shafsma.
Shafsma comes out for Pioneer, starting.
For Monroe, number 5, senior guard, Alexander Middleton.
Middleton comes out for Monroe.
For Pioneer, number 5, senior guard, Will Sen Duckerell.
Sanuk comes out for Pioneer.
Number 15, junior guard, Gabriel Sweat.
And Sweat, the final starter for Monroe.
Number 24, a senior, it's guard, Brady Cunningham.
Cunningham, the final starter for Pioneer. Head coach for Monroe is Larry Middleton. Assistants are Kevin Henry, John Goodnow, and Jamie Frank. On the other side, Rich Marion is Pioneer's head coach. Darian Bynum and Jeremy Kucera are the assistant coaches. Turman in to take the jump ball. Nichols on the other side. The official comes in to get the game started. 8 minutes up on the clock. We appreciate you being here with us. Thank you very much for cheering on these teams and supporting even when you can't be at the game. Popped up and brought back, gathered in by Sweat. Sweat for Monroe. Has it just inside of the blockades. Cunningham watching him. Sweat over into the far corner for McCarthy. McCarthy kicks it to Middleton, top of the key. Middleton now on the far wing. Middleton gets it back over to McCarthy along the far sideline. Schaafsma watching him. Now Sweat has it right on the block A, coming over to the left-hand side, being watched by Cunningham. Nichols to the free throw line. Dishes it under Least, and it falls in for Guyman. 2 points for Monroe. Cunningham brings it ahead for Pioneer. Cunningham, top of the key, moves it over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Off the top of the key, working against Sweat. Moves it over to Klein on the far sideline. Klein works his way around the arc. Now steps back right by the blockades. Klein kicks it back to Cunningham on the near wing. Cunningham dribbles to his left, moves it over to Schaafsma. Schaafsma to the free throw line. Over to Turman. Turman kicks it over to Cunningham, top of the key. Cunningham dribbles to his left to the free throw line, gets in, puts it off balance, tips his own rebound. Turman with the rebound, puts it up off glass, wouldn't go down. Pulled away by Monroe. Monroe 2, Pioneer nothing, quickly ahead. Nichols into the paint. He collides with Klein, pulled down by Turman. Pioneer with the rebound, quickly ahead. Cunningham for Pioneer. And underneath to Schaafsma, who puts it up and in. Schaafsma makes it 2-2. Monroe quickly ahead. Bounce pass underneath the Nichols in the paint. Nichols puts it up. That off the back of the rim falls away. Coming ahead, Snook to follow for Pioneer. Over half court. Snook to follow on the far wing. Snook to follow. Working his way around the arc. Snook to follow. Now bounce pass into the far corner for Schaafsma. Schaafsma to the free throw line. He goes up, rolls it in with the right hand. Schaafsma with 4 points. Pioneer 4, Monroe 2. That tipped away as Klein gets it in, tips it to Snook to follow. Snook to follow up with the left hand. Not quite strong enough off the front of the rim, bringing it ahead. Sweat the other direction. Sweat for Monroe. Over half court. Pioneer 4, Monroe 2. Snook to follow, watching Sweat. Sweat trying to make his way to the baseline. Kicks it all the way back out to Guyman. Guyman up for 3. That off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Turman. Turman over to Cunningham. Cunningham ahead for Pioneer. Over into the far corner, making his way. Snook to follow, has that knocked away. Cunningham gets it, put it up, and there's a foul as Cunningham falls to the ground. That foul is going to be on Nichols, and it's going to be his first foul. Cunningham to the line, shooting 2. Pioneer 4, Monroe 2. Cunningham dribbles, bends the knees, puts it up. Rolls around and down. Cunningham with his first points. Pioneer 5, Monroe 2. Cunningham trying to make a 4-point lead. Spins the ball. Bends the knees, puts it up. Puts it in. Nothing but net on that one. Pioneer 6, Monroe 2. Sweat has it on the near sideline. Full court pressure by Pioneer as that tipped away, trying to get back to McCarthy. Out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. Timeout called by Monroe. They want to talk it over. 5:30 left to go here in the first. Pioneer 6, Monroe 2. Let's play a little push on to keep you fired up, keep Pioneer fired up, keep everybody fired up. .530 left to go here in the first. Cunningham to inbound, baseline left for Pioneer. Cunningham gets it underneath to Schaafsma. Schaafsma triple team back over to Klein for 3. Klein hits it, nothing but net. As coming up, that moved away. Turman picks up his first foul. As Pioneer 9, 2 for Monroe. As McCarthy gets it to Sweat. Sweat on the far wing. Sweat Comes back right to block A's bounce pass that's stolen away by Schafsma, but a foul first, kick ball. Klein picks up the foul. That's his first foul. 2 on Pioneer, 1 on Monroe. McCarthy to inbound, baseline right. McCarthy skies it that off of the glass, out of bounds. It's going to stay Monroe ball, tipped by Pioneer. As McCarthy looking for a place to go, gets all the way out to Sweat on the near sideline. Chinook to follow, watching him. Sweat dribbles to his left on the far wing. Sweat cuts the paint, puts it up off glass with the left hand, falls away off the far rim. Pulling it down, Monroe with the rebound. Sweat on the near wing, puts up a three-pointer. That off the front of the rim, pulled down by Turman. Turman moves it to Cunningham, who avoids a quick steal by Sweat. Ahead, Snook to follow for 3. That off the rim, but a whistle. As that is going to be Monroe ball. Pioneer 9, Monroe 2, 4:49 left to go. As Sweat brings it ahead for Monroe, Turman providing full court pressure by Pioneer. Now that tip by Turman, Sweat gets it back for Monroe. On the near wing, Sweat. As Turman in front of him, Sweat comes right on the block A, bounce pass underneath. Gets it ahead, that put up and in by Middleton. Middleton with his first points of the game, he has 2. Cunningham ahead for Pioneer, over to Klein in the far wing. Klein hands it off to Schafsma. Schafsma step back into the far corner, over to Klein. Pioneer 9, Monroe 4. Snook to follow, over to Schafsma in the far corner. Schafsma bounce pass over, Turman puts it up, puts it in. Turman with his first points of the game, he has 2. Pioneer 11, Monroe 4. 4 minutes left to go. As into the far corner, Middleton kicks it back to McCarthy. Back over to Middleton in the far wing. Back over to McCarthy, who comes top of the key. Fires it to Sweat on the near wing. Sweat back over for 3 by Middleton, and he hits it. Middleton has 5 points. Pioneer 11, 7, and that's put up by Pioneer. Rebound by Monroe. Pioneer 11, Monroe 7. Middleton brings it ahead, top of the key for the Trojans. Gets it underneath the Guyman. Guyman over to Nichols on the near corner. Nichols has it pop back to Middleton, top of the key. He puts another three-pointer, that one short, out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. 3:18 left to go here in the first. Miller comes in for Monroe. Pioneer with the 4-point lead. Cunningham brings ahead for Pioneer. Cunningham over half court. McCarthy watching him. Bounce pass over to Turman, top of the key. Turman over to Klein. Klein moves it over to Schafsma. On the near side is Cunningham on the near wing. Gets a screen from Turman. Cunningham cuts to his left, trying to get into the paint. That poked away. Kick ball, and that is going to be Monroe ball. Mohamed Conde in for Pioneer. Pioneer 11, Monroe 7, 3:01 left to go. Monroe with the ball. Sweat brings it ahead. Full court pressure by Pioneer as Miller gets over to Middleton. Middleton comes top of the key. Middleton on the near wing. Works his way around the arc. Moves it back to Nichols. Nichols steps back. 18-footer, and he hits it. Nichols with his first points of the game. 11 for Pioneer, 9 for Monroe. Cunningham brings the head for Pioneer on the far sideline. Cunningham, top of the key. Hands off to Snook to follow, knocked away by Sweat. Klein trying to get back. Sweat puts it up, rolls it around, and in. Sweat with his first points of the game were knotted up at 11 apiece. Cunningham for Pioneer comes over on the near wing. Snook to follow. That to Turman. Turman into the paint, puts up off glass with the left hand and in. Turman puts that in. He has 4 points. Pioneer with 13, Monroe 11. Monroe, Middleton gets over to Nichols on the far sideline. Now over to Sweat. Sweat about 6 feet off of the top of the key. Sweat over to Middleton on the far wing. Middleton into the paint, puts it up off glass. Bounces off the back of the rim a few times. Turman with the rebound. Here comes Pioneer up by 2. Cunningham over half court. Cunningham Comes top of the key, now on the near wing. Bounce pass over Muhammad Kande, who puts it up off glass and off the side of the rim. Falls away the near side. Coming ahead is Nichols. Over half court for Monroe. Nichols, bounce pass over to Middleton. Puts it up and in. Middleton leading all scorers with 7. 13 tied apiece. Pioneer quickly ahead. 1:22 left to go. As that is going to be Pioneer ball. They'll inbound baseline left as Cunningham goes to inbound the ball. Rink comes in as well as Uhas. So it's Cunningham, Klein, Rink, Uhas, and Muhammad Kande out there for Pioneer. Frank, Miller, Middleton out there as Rink gets it, puts it up. He is fouled, going to the hole. That's going to be on Nichols. Nichols picks up his second foul. 2 on Pioneer, 3 on Monroe. Rink goes to the line shooting 2. 13 all. Rink puts up the first shot off the front of the rim. One more shot coming to break the tie. Guyman comes back in for Monroe. Rink with his second shot puts it up. That off the front of the rim, as that is going to be Monroe ball. Klein pleads his case, but to no avail. 1 minute, 19 seconds left to go. Klein picks up his second foul. As Sweat has it for Monroe. Now Middleton. Back over to Frank. Frank brings it up. Muhammad Kande watching him. Sweat on the far wing. Back over to Frank. Now into the near corner to Middleton. Underneath the Sweat. Underneath the Miller. Quickly ahead. Here comes Muhammad Kande for Pioneer. Puts it up. Off glass. Rolls around and out. Wouldn't stay down. Sweat ahead to Middleton for Monroe. Middleton on the far sideline. Middleton kicks it over to Sweat. Sweat backs up. Gives himself room to work as he's just inside of half court. Sweat comes over on the far sideline. Now back over. That's a shot by Guyman. Wouldn't fall. And over to Cunningham. Here comes Pioneer. Knotted up at 13 apiece. Cunningham puts it up. Off the rim. Off the front. The back of the rim. Wouldn't fall. Rink gets tied up. Jump ball. That will be Pioneer ball. 33 seconds left to go here in the first. 13 all. So I thought the possession arrow was pointing the other direction, but maybe I'm wrong. That is going to be Pioneer ball. There we go. Thought I was crazy. Well, we know I am, but it's neither here nor there. Hopkins in for Pioneer to inbound baseline left. Hopkins looking for a place to go with it. Hopkins kicks it all the way out to Uhas. Uhas on the far wing. Uhas into the paint. Puts up a floater off the front of the rim. Wouldn't go down. Guyman with the rebound. 13 all. Monroe with the ball. Quickly head to Middleton. Into the paint. Tipped away by Muhammad Kande. Pulled down. Pioneer quickly the other direction. As Shafsma over to Muhammad Kande. Top of the key. Now Hopkins calling out signals. 12 seconds left to go here in the first. And 7 seconds left. Hopkins comes to the top of the key. Hopkins steps back to the free throw line. Rink thought about it. Now puts it up. Off glass. Wouldn't fall. A little too far on the near side. So at the end of one, it is 13 apiece. Both Pioneer and Monroe all tied up. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
At the end of one, it is 13 for Pioneer, 13 for Monroe. Fast-paced first quarter action as we take a look. Scoring Turman has 4. Schaafsma has 4 for Pioneer, 3 for Klein, and 2 for Cunningham. On the other side, it's 7 for Middleton, 2 for Nichols, 1 for Sweat, and 2 for Guyman.
For information, Corbin Diamond for Monroe is wearing jersey number 32 tonight, not 34 listed in
Franked inbound for Monroe. Middleton now has it for the Trojans over half court, being watched by Muhammad Kande. Over to Sweat on the far wing. Underneath the Guyman. Guyman spins, puts it up off glass, wouldn't fall, pops up his own rebound, grabs it again. That knocked away. Here comes Hopkins the other direction over half court. Hopkins on the far sideline. Hopkins comes top of the key as he steps back. Hopkins dribbles to his left, moves it over. Now there's a shot off the rim, coming down with it, as that was Freisteller with it. Coming along on the far side, that kicked over into the near corner, shot for Frank. Off the rim, comes down. Here comes Juhas the other direction. Juhas to the free throw line. Juhas puts it up off glass, and a foul called. 7:14 left to go, 13 all currently. Juhas to the line. Sweat picks up his first foul. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 4 on Monroe. Juhas to the line, shooting 2, trying to break the tie. First shot is up and good, rattles home. Second shot for Juhas coming. Second shot is up, off the side of the rim, as Rink trying to get it and couldn't quite control a valiant effort, but out of bounds. That's going to be Monroe ball. Pioneer 14, Monroe 13. Frank inbound on the near sideline. Frank gets it to Middleton, leading scorer. Middleton over half court for the Trojans. Muhammad Kande tips it away. Muhammad Kande trying to get it. Guyman knocks out of bounds. That's Pioneer ball. It's good hands by Muhammad Kande getting into the passing lane. 7:04. As Hopkins has it over half court for Pioneer. Pioneer by point. Hopkins working against McCarthy. And Muhammad Kande dishes it underneath. Juhas over to Hopkins. Hopkins into the paint. Gets over to Muhammad Kande. That tipped away. Here comes McCarthy the other direction for Monroe. Pioneer 14, Monroe 13. McCarthy on the near wing. Hopkins watching him. McCarthy gets it to Middleton. Middleton spinning back to McCarthy on the near wing. McCarthy has that knocked away. Here comes Freisteller. Freisteller has it poked away. Juhas goes down. Juhas dribbles it away. Excellent job keeping the dribble. Juhas into the paint. Puts it up and blocked. Juhas down to the ground. Foul called. Guyman picks up his first foul. 5 on Monroe, 3 on Pioneer. Juhas to line, shooting 2. And Muhammad Kande having some issues with his right leg. He goes over to the sideline. We hope he's all right. Juhas up and in with the first shot. That's 2 points for Juhas, trying to make it 3. Stein comes in. Juhas puts up the second shot. That off the rim. Pulled down by Frank. Frank gets it to Middleton. Middleton brings ahead for the Trojans. Pioneer up by 2, 15-13. Schaafsma watching Middleton. Middleton picked up a dribble, needs some help. McCarthy has it on the near sideline. McCarthy into the paint, kicks it over to Stein. Stein puts it up and puts it in. Stein with his first points as we are tied at 15 apiece. Juhas has it on the near wing for Pioneer. Juhas calling out signals. Juhas works his way to the arc. Now Hopkins on the far wing. Hopkins works against McCarthy. Over to Juhas on the near wing. Juhas dribbles to his left. Now over to Hopkins on the far wing. Hopkins dribbles to the line. Now kicks it over to Juhas. Juhas underneath the Rink. Rink on the baseline. Rink back out to Juhas. Juhas over to Hopkins. Into the far corner for Freisteller. Freisteller puts it up. And off the rim. Out of bounds. That will stay Pioneer ball. Roberts comes in for Monroe. Snook to follow in for Pioneer. Hopkins to inbound, baseline left. Hopkins looking for a place to go. Freisteller has it over to Turman at the free throw line. Back over to Freisteller. Hopkins works his way around the arc. Snook to follow. On the far wing, Snook to follow. Bounce pass, gets it back. Snook to follow. Comes to the line, gets over to Freisteller in the far corner. Back over to Snook to follow on the far wing. Over to Hopkins on the near wing. Hopkins working against McCarthy. Bounce pass over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Back over to Hopkins on the near wing. Looking for a chink in Monroe's armor. Monroe now over to Snook to follow for three. That off the rim. Pulled down by Middleton. Still tied 15 apiece. Middleton for Monroe. Heads to the top of the key. Hands it off. Roberts loses. And that will be travel as he loses his footing. Goes down on the ball. That couldn't feel good. He's holding his right arm a little bit. Sweat back in. Cunningham for Pioneer in. Cunningham brings it over half court. 4:37 left to go before halftime. Cunningham over to Snook to follow. Into the far corner for Schaafsma. Turman into the paint. Puts it up off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Nichols. Monroe has it. Coming ahead with it is Middleton over half court. Middleton has Schaafsma watching him. Middleton off the top of the key. Middleton comes over on the far wing, trying to get it underneath the Stein. Stein on the baseline. Over, that's put up by Roberts. That falls off the glass to the near side. Stein with the rebound, pulled down by Cunningham. Here comes Pioneer. Cunningham over half court, gets ahead to Freisteller. Freisteller puts it up off glass, wouldn't go, off the side of the rim, whistle blown. Freisteller picks up his first foul. Monroe ball, 4 minutes left to go. Still knotted up, 15 apiece. 4 fouls for Pioneer, 5 for Monroe. As Roberts gets it to Sweat on the near sideline. Sweat trying to break, full court pressure by Pioneer. Middleton underneath the Stein. Off the glass, wouldn't fall. Middleton, he gets a hand to the face, right around the eye. He comes away with it. Turman picks up his second foul. As Rink in for Pioneer. Mohamed Kande looks like he's doing better. He's taking a seat over on the bench as Monroe inbounds it. Middleton has it on the far wing. Snook to follow, watching him. Now bringing it ahead. McCarthy on the near wing. Hands it off to Frank. Frank kicks it back to Sweat on the near sideline. Sweat just inside of half court. Work against Snook to follow. The ball. There's Middleton with a 17-footer. He hits it. Middleton with 9 points. Monroe 17, Pioneer 15. As Snook to follow on the far sideline for Pioneer. Moves it to Cunningham. Cunningham, top of the key. Go over to Freisteller in the near corner. Back to Cunningham on the near wing. Cunningham kicks it to Snook to follow on the far wing. Snook to follow. Bounces it over to Cunningham. Cunningham on the near wing. Comes to the paint. Over to Schaafsma. Schaafsma with a 16-footer. He hits it. 6 points for Schaafsma. All knotted up, 17 points apiece. Middleton has it on the near wing. Middleton comes to the free throw line. Now over to Sweat on the far side. Middleton looking to set a screen against Snook to follow. Sweat puts it up off the back of the rim. Rink with the rebound. Over to Cunningham. Pioneer with the ball. Sweat with full court pressure. Here comes Cunningham over half court. And flipped over to Snook to follow. Knotted up, 17 apiece with 2:34 left before halftime. Snook to follow on the far wing. Snook to follow. Bounce pass to Cunningham in the paint. Cunningham goes up, rolls it in. +1. Cunningham with 4 points. Opportunity to make a 3-point play. Frank picks up his first foul. 6 fouls on Monroe, 5 on Pioneer. 1 more foul on Monroe, and Pioneer will be shooting free throws. Cunningham to the line. Cunningham spins the ball. Bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Cunningham with 5 points. Pioneer 20, Monroe 17. Sweat brings ahead for Monroe. Snook to follow, picks him up at half court. Gets a screen from McCarthy. Sweat trying to get it underneath the Nichols. That out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 2:14 left to go before halftime. Pioneer with the 3-point lead. Schaafsma inbounds it to Cunningham. Cunningham brings it ahead over half court. Cunningham over on the far sideline to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Skies it over to Cunningham on the near wing. Back over to Snook to follow. Underneath to Schaafsma along the baseline. Stolen away by Sweat. Coming ahead. McCarthy over to Middleton. Middleton puts it up off glass. Puts it in. Cunningham picks up his first foul. Middleton trying to make a 3-point play and tie it at 20 apiece. Middleton puts up the shot, puts it in. Middleton with 12. All knotted up, 20 apiece. Snook to follow for Pioneer on the far sideline. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham over to Klein. Klein on the baseline. Back to Cunningham for 3. That off the rim. Pulled down by Schaafsma. Trying to get it underneath. Pulled away by Middleton. Quickly ahead to Sweat. A little overshot him just a little too far. Here comes Pioneer the other direction. Over half court, Cunningham for Pioneer. Skies it over to Snook to follow on the near wing. Snook to follow. Dribbles, works his way around the arc, top of the key. That off of a foot. That is going to be Pioneer inbounding, baseline, or not baseline, on the near sideline. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go before halftime. 20-20 is our score. Pioneer has it. Cunningham lofts it over to Snook to follow. Over to Klein in the far corner. Cunningham gets it back, racing his way to the baseline. Over, Snook to follow for 3. He rolls it home. Snook to follow with his first points of the game. He has 3, as it is 23-20. Pioneer with the lead. Frank has it, top of the key for Monroe. Over to Middleton, just inside of half court. Middleton on the far wing. Over to Sweat on the far sideline. Sweat backs up. Sweat comes over on the near wing. Sweat comes down the baseline. Kicks it over. Middleton for 3. He hits it. Middleton leads all scorers with 15 points. We're tied up at 23 apiece. As Mohamed Kande back over. Snook to follow for 3. Snook to follow with his second 3-pointer in a row. 26 for Pioneer, 23 for Monroe. 21 seconds left to go before halftime. Sweat brings ahead for Monroe on the far wing. Hands it off to Frank. Frank trying to get a little bit of room. Back over to Middleton. Middleton spinning. Snook to follow on him. Gets it over to Sweat. Sweat gets a screen from Nichols. Sweat into the paint. Moves it over. There's McCarthy for 3. McCarthy hits it. As we are tied up at halftime. 26-26. As a battle back and forth, 3-pointers raining in the last portion. As we take a look, Pioneer is led by Schaafsma with 6 points. Cunningham has 5. 4 points for Turman, 6 points for Snook to follow, 3 points for Klein, and 2 points for Uhas. On the other side, it's Middleton with 15, 3 for McCarthy, 2 for Nichols, 1 for Sweat, and 2 for Guyman. We'll step away, play just a few messages from the MHSAA, then we'll come back with your intermission scoreboard report. Here at halftime, we're all knotted up, 26 apiece. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pioneer cheer team now performing at halftime. Fantastic job by the Pioneer cheer team. Well, let's take this opportunity to take a look at, first of all, the standings in the SEC, and then we'll take a look at our scoreboard report. So taking a look at the SEC Red, it is led by Huron in number 1 place. They're 9-0. Skyline in number 2 with 6-3. Saline at 5-4 is in the next spot, followed by Pioneer 4-4. Lincoln behind them at 4-5. Dexter at 3-6. Monroe at 3-6, and Bedford at 1-7. Over on the white division, it is Tecumseh 3-0. Adrian is 4-2 on the season. Chelsea 3-2. Jackson right underneath them at 4-3. Pinckney 1-4, and Ypsilanti Community 0-4. Taking a look at your scores from this past week, back on the 1st, we know about Dexter. And that is not, let me try and fix this. There we go. For some reason I had it set to the wrong division. There we go. Okay, so back on the 1st, it was Huron beating Ypsilanti Lincoln 72-65. We know that Dexter eked out a win over, or Pioneer eked out a win over Dexter 61-60. It was Skyline beating Monroe 57-41. Saline beat Temperance Bedford. That was 50-34. On the 4th, Huron beat Skyline 60-55. It was this Monroe team beating Dexter 59-56. Pioneer beat Saline 50-45, and it was Temperance Bedford getting their first win that against Ypsilanti Lincoln 61-57. That's in the SEC Red. If I flip over and take a look at the SEC White Division, I'll pull that up and refresh these scores. Back on the 1st, it was Adrian beating Jackson 86-82. Pinckney beat Ypsilanti Community 49-26. It was Adrian beating Chelsea on the 4th, 52-47. Jackson beat Pinckney also on the 4th, 58-52. And that is your scoreboard report. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with your second half action here at halftime. Pioneer 26, Monroe 26.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award. underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We're actually going to come right back here as counting down, or headed into the third. It's tied 26-26. Monroe and Pioneer all knotted up. Both teams looking to try and grab a stranglehold on this game in the second half. Schossman inbound right in front of us on the near sideline. Schossman gets it ahead to Cunningham. Cunningham over half court, being watched by McCarthy. Hands off to Snook to follow. Over to Turman, top of the key, to the free throw line. Turman on that far wing. Turman hands off to Snook to follow on the far wing. Snook to follow, has Sweat watching him. Bounces it to Schossman, over to Cunningham, top of the key. Cunningham over on the near side to Klein. Klein coming down the baseline. Klein puts it up off glass, wouldn't fall. Gathered down by Guyman. Coming ahead the other way. Here comes Middleton for Monroe. Middleton over half court, over to Sweat. Just inside of half court, Snook to follow watching him. Underneath the Middleton. Middleton puts it up. That's short, but Guyman with the rebound. Guyman puts it up. That off the front of the rim. Travel call. That over to Pioneer. We remain tied at 26 apiece. 7:16 left to go here in the third. Cunningham brings ahead for Pioneer over half court. McCarthy waits for him at half court. Cunningham on the far sideline. Hands off to Klein. Klein work his way around the arc. Over to Snook to follow on the near wing. Snook to follow into the paint. Puts it up and in. Snook to follow with 8. Pioneer 28. Monroe 26. Sweat brings it ahead for Monroe over half court. Working against him is Snook to follow. Sweat kicks over to McCarthy. McCarthy over to Middleton on the near wing. Middleton over to Sweat in the near corner. Sweat comes down the baseline. Kicks it over to Nichols on the far sideline. Nichols works his way into the paint. Puts it up off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Turman. Turman over to Cunningham. Pioneer by 2. Quickly ahead to Snook to follow on the far sideline. He's double teamed. Knocked out of bounds. And that is going over to Monroe. 6:27 left to go here in the third. Pioneer 28, Monroe 26. Sweat bringing ahead for Monroe over half court. Sweat on the near sideline, trying to get into the paint, puts it up, high off glass, just a little too strong to the far side. Out of bounds, that went off a Pioneer. That will stay Monroe ball. Inbounded as Sweat has it on the far wing. Sweat Kicks it into the far corner for 3 off the side of the rim. Pulled down by Snook to follow. Snook to follow over to Cunningham for Pioneer. Cunningham over to Turman. Turman up just a little too strong. Pulled down by Middleton. Middleton for Monroe the other way. Pioneer by 2. Middleton into the paint. Rolls it up. Finger roll. Puts it in. Middleton with 17 points. We're knotted up at 28 apiece with 5:49 left to go here in the third. Cunningham for Pioneer. Over to Snook to follow on the far wing. Snook to follow into the far corner for Schaafsma. Back over to Cunningham. Cunningham on the far wing. Dumps it underneath to Turman. Up off the glass and in. Turman with 6 points. Pioneer takes the 2-point lead. 30-28. On the far sideline. Sweat for Monroe has it. Comes over on the near wing. Now gets it over to Nichols underneath, trying to get back to Sweat. Sweat moves it as that's on the far sideline. Saved by McCarthy. Middleton thought about it. Now over to Nichols. Nichols into the paint. Puts it up off glass and in. And a whistle. That's going to be a charge. That is Nichols' third foul. Miller comes in for Monroe. Pioneer with the 2-point lead. Cunningham brings the head over half court. Pioneer 30, Monroe 28. Cunningham works his way to the free throw line. Kicks it over to Schaafsma. Schaafsma to the paint. Foul. Elbow called. Miller picks up his second foul. It's inbounded. Schaafsma has it over to Turman on the near elbow. Underneath to Uhas. Uhas picks up his dribble. Gets it back to Turman. Top of the key. Now over to Uhas. Uhas comes down the far side of the paint. Over to Schaafsma for 3. Turman with the rebound. Turman trying to get it underneath the Klein. That tipped away off a Pioneer. That will be Monroe ball. 4:39 left to go here in the third. Pioneer 30, Monroe 28. Sweat brings ahead for the Trojans. Sweat coming down the far sideline over half court. Cunningham picks him up there. Sweat comes to the near elbow. Gets it over to Miller. That knocked away. Picked up. Frank back over to Middleton, top of the key. Middleton over into the far corner for Miller for 3. Wouldn't fall. As Turman goes up to get the rebound, he gets a push from behind. McCarthy picks up his first foul. 3 fouls in this half on Monroe. Pioneer as yet to be called for a foul. Uhas gets the ball inbounded. Here comes Uhas for Pioneer over half court. Pioneer with the 2-point lead. Uhas into the paint, puts it up. That falls just a little short. Pulled by Middleton the other way for the Trojans. Middleton over half court. Middleton, top of the key. Middleton on the far wing. Middleton kicks it back. Frank thought about it. Now moves it over to McCarthy. McCarthy into the paint. Moves it into the near corner for Sweat for 3. And off the rim, falls way to the far side. Turman with the rebound. Here comes Cunningham. Ahead quickly to Schaafsma. Schaafsma over to Klein in the far corner. Turman gets it underneath, stolen away. Here comes Sweat. Sweat for Monroe. Ahead. Sweat into the paint. Knocked away by Turman. Out of bounds on the far sideline. That will be Monroe ball. Pioneer 30, Monroe 28. 3:34 left to go here in the third. McCarthy to inbound on the far sideline, right in front of his bench. Turman watching inbound pass. Gets it to Middleton, up off the glass and in. Middleton with 19 points, leading all scorers. He is dangerous. We're tied at 30 apiece. Quick foul on McCarthy as he got a piece of Cunningham coming ahead. That's his second foul. That should be the 4th on Monroe this half. Mohamed Kande inbounds to Cunningham. Cunningham comes ahead for Pioneer. Cunningham over half court. McCarthy providing full court pressure. Cunningham got a screen from Mohamed Kande. Now gets it to Mohamed Kande on the far wing. Mohamed Kande over to Turman on the far elbow. Turman takes a dribble into the paint, puts it up. Soft touch, puts it in. Turman with 8 points with nothing but net. Here comes Pioneer, has 32, Monroe 30. Middleton down the far sideline for Monroe. Middleton on the near wing. Hands off to Frank. Frank comes top of the key. Over to Sweat on the far sideline. Sweat dribbles through his legs, gets it over to Miller, put up and rolling all the way around. That was McCarthy. He has 5 points. 32 apiece, all tied up. Cunningham brings ahead for Pioneer. Cunningham down the far sideline on the far wing. Cunningham comes into the paint, puts up a floater that rims off to the far side. Pulled down. Here comes Monroe with the chance to take the lead. 32-32 is where we're at. Sweat over half court. 2:14 left to go in the third. There's a three-pointer by Middleton that pulled down. Here comes Klein over half court for Pioneer. Klein underneath the Mohamed Kande. Mohamed Kande trying to put it up. Couldn't quite get everything on it. Pulled down by Frank. Frank over to McCarthy. Here comes Monroe. Tied up 32 apiece with 1 minute 50 seconds left to go. McCarthy just inside of the blockades, cuts to his left. McCarthy into paint, puts it up off the back of the rim. Turman gets the rebound over to Cunningham. Here comes Pioneer. Cunningham over half court. Into the near corner for Uhas. Back over to Turman. Into the near corner. 17-footer by Mohamed Kande. That rims out. Trying to pull it down. Pulled away by Miller. Monroe the other direction. Here comes McCarthy down the far sideline. Gets it over to Sweat right on the P of Pioneer. Just inside of half court. 1 minute, 13 seconds left to go. As coming to the near wing is that pulled away. Here comes Uhas the other direction. Uhas over half court. Uhas on the near wing, trying to make his way in. He's walled off. Gets it to Turman. Turman puts it up and puts it in. High arcing floater for Turman. He has 10 points. Pioneer 34 and Monroe 32. Timeout called by Pioneer. Let's take it with them and play a little push on. Good to see Mohamed Kande out there. He went to the sideline with an apparent right leg injury earlier, so we're always very happy to see when players bounce back and are doing all right. McCarthy to inbound on the baseline right. Here comes Middleton for Monroe. Pioneer 34, Monroe 32. 50 seconds left to go here in the third. Middleton calling out signals. Gets it to Miller. Miller on the far wing. Miller gets it to Frank, top of the key. Frank cutting down the far side of the paint. Now kicks it back, and Miller misses it. That's over and back. Pioneer with the ball. Kande to inbound on the far sideline. Kande over to Hopkins. Hopkins over half court for Pioneer. Pioneer up by 2 with 30 seconds left to go in the third. Snook to follow on the near wing. Work against McCarthy. Snook to follow. Dribbles to his right. Kicks it to Klein in the near corner. Klein works his way around the arc. Over to Hopkins on the far wing. Hopkins working against Frank. Hopkins calling out signals. 12 seconds left to go. Kicks it over to Klein. 8 seconds left to go. Klein working against Miller. Gets a screen from Rink. Klein puts it up. Would not ball. Rolls around off of the rim. Off the side in the front of the rim. But a whistle. That is going to be on Frank. That's his second foul. 5th foul on Monroe this half. 3.1 seconds left to go. Klein trying to stretch the Pioneer lead. It's 2 now. Klein could make it 4. Klein puts up the shot. That off the front, the back of the rim would not go down. Touched every part of the rim, but wouldn't touch the net. Klein with his second shot. Klein puts it up, that off the back of the rim, gets his own rebound, puts it up, a little short, and that will do it for the first half, or for the third quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, it is Pioneer 34, Monroe 32 on a hard-fought, close game. Let's play one quick message from the MHSAA, and we will be back with your fourth quarter action. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As scoring, Pioneer, Turman has 10 points. Chinook to follow with 8. 3 points for Klein, 6 points for Schaafsma, 5 points for Cunningham, and 2 points for Uhas. On the other side, it is 19 points for Middleton. Let's see, that's 5 points for McCarthy, 2 for Nichols, 2 for Stein, 1 for Sweat, and 2 for Guyman. Frank inbounds on the near sideline. Monroe with possession. McCarthy brings it ahead over half court. Hopkins watching him on the far sideline. McCarthy picks up his dribble, kicks it over to Middleton. Middleton on that far sideline. Mohamed Kande watching him. Middleton comes to the top of the key. Middleton trying to work his way around the side of the paint. Picked up his dribble. Gets it back to Frank on the near wing. Frank into the near corner. Frank kicks it back to Middleton. Back to Frank in the near corner. Back to Middleton on the near wing. Middleton dribbles just inside of half court. Now skies it over to Guyman. Guyman on the far wing trying to get it underneath. Whistle and a foul as that pass went awry. Mohamed Kande picks up his first foul. 5. As Monroe to inbound. Baseline left. Over to Nichols. Nichols bodies, puts it up, that off the front of the rim. Pulled down by Rink. As they'll call a travel on Rink. As opposed to the over and back on Nichols. Or as opposed to the over the back by Nichols. As McCarthy skies it. Frank has it on the near wing. Frank off the top of the key, gets it over. Middleton goes up to the rim, puts it up, but he'll take a foul. No, that will be a foul on Middleton. That is his first foul of the game. Mohamed Kande inbounds. Hopkins brings it ahead. Hopkins watching McCarthy. Hopkins comes over half court. Mohamed Kande on the far wing. Mohamed Kande kicks it to Rink, top of the key. Over to Klein on the near wing. Back to Sanook to follow. Sanook to follow on the side of the paint. Klein into the paint at the free throw line. Sanook to follow for 3, and he hits it. Nothing but net. Sanook to follow has 11 points. Pioneer 37. Monroe 32. Middleton over half court. Middleton has Mohamed Kande watching him. Middleton on the far wing, gets into the paint, puts it up with the right hand, rolls around and down. Whistle blown. 21 points for Middleton, trying to make a three-point play. Second foul on Mohamed Kande. 3-point lead by Pioneer. Middleton trying to get it down to a 2-point lead. Pioneer 37, Monroe 34. Free throw is good. Middleton with 22 points. Mohamed Kande inbounds. Pioneer with the 2-point lead, brings it over half court. Hopkins has it on the far sideline, working against Sweat. Hopkins hands it off to Mohamed Kande. Mohamed Kande underneath the Sanook to follow. He is fouled going up with the ball. And it's going to be on Middleton. Middleton picks up his second foul. Sanook to follow at the line. Pioneer now in the bonus. Shot is good by Sanook to follow. He has 12 points, looking for 13, trying to stretch the lead to 4 for Pioneer. Snook to follow. Puts up the next shot. That rims off. Mohamed Kande with the rebound. As that was tipped out of his hands, but last touch by Monroe. Hopkins. Baseline right to inbound. Hopkins. Bounce pass. And put up by Rinkkinen. Rink with his first points of the game. Pioneer 40, Monroe 35. Middleton inbounds, gets it back. Middleton brings it ahead over half court for the Trojans. Middleton hands it off to Nichols. Nichols, top of the key, over to Sweat. Sweat on the near wing. Sweat kicks it back to Middleton. Middleton on that near wing. Dribbles to his right, and they're going to call a foul as opposed to the double dribble. As they call Mohamed Kande. That is his third foul. McCarthy inbounds over to Nichols. Nichols bringing ahead as charge called on Nichols. That is his fourth foul. Pioneer 40, Monroe 35. Mohamed Kande. Inbound it, baseline left. Hopkins brings it ahead. 5:44 left to go in the fourth. Hopkins for Pioneer on the far sideline. Hands it off to Mohamed Kande. Mohamed Kande. Snook to follow for three. He hits it. Snook to follow with 15. Pioneer 43. Monroe 35. Miller has it for Monroe, backing his way into the paint, puts it up, and off the side of the rim, pulled down by Klein. Here comes Hopkins for Pioneer over half court. Hopkins on the far wing. Hopkins on that far sideline. Big watch by Sweat. Hopkins dribbles to his left, now to his right, trying to make it into the paint, underneath the Rink. Rink kicks it back, that pulled away. Here comes Nichols the other direction. Nichols on the far wing. Nichols back to Sweat. Sweat thought about it. Miller gets the free throw line into the near corner for McCarthy. McCarthy gets it to Middleton for three. Middleton hits it. Middleton has 25 points. Pioneer 43. Monroe 38. 5-point lead for Pioneer. Hopkins has the ball for Pioneer over half court. Hopkins just inside of half court. Sweat comes over to provide pressure on him. Hopkins kicks over to Snook to foul. Snook to foul for three. That off the side of the rim. Pulled down by Klein. Klein puts it up and in. Klein with 5. Pioneer 45. Monroe 38. As Sweat brings ahead for Monroe. Hopkins trying to tip it away. Hopkins picks up the foul. Three fouls on Pioneer, 8 on Monroe. As inbounding on the near sideline is McCarthy. Timeout called by Pioneer. Well, it's 4:13 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer with a 45 to 38 point lead. 7-point lead for Pioneer. But leading all scorers, Middleton has 25 points. It shows no signs of slowing down. Let's keep everyone fired up for the last 4 minutes. Let's play a little bit more push on. As it's inbounded, Sweat has it over on the near side. Middleton into the near corner for Miller. Miller into the paint. Moves it over to McCarthy to the free throw line. Now Sweat works his way. Kicks it out to Miller in the far corner. Sweat for three. That off the rim, and it hit the belt that lowers the basket. That's out of bounds off of Monroe. Pioneer with the ball. Cunningham brings it ahead for Pioneer. Pioneer up by 7. McCarthy picks him up at half court. Klein on the near wing, working against Middleton. Klein over to Schaafsma on the far wing. Over to Turman. Turman just on the far wing, hands it off to Cunningham. Cunningham into the near corner for Schaafsma. Schaafsma goes to the line. Schaafsma puts up the first shot and puts it in. Seven points for Schaafsma, trying to make it 8. Trying to make it a 9-point lead by Pioneer. Schaafsma puts it up, rattles it home. 8 points for Schaafsma. Pioneer 47 and Monroe 38 as Middleton has it for Monroe on the near wing. Middleton as that tipped out of bounds, but a foul called. That's Sanuk DeFalo picks up his first foul. 5 fouls on Pioneer, 9 on Monroe. One more, and Pioneer is in the double bonus. Frank to inbound, baseline left. Frank gets it to Nichols in the near corner. Nichols over to Nichols over to Middleton. Middleton on the near wing. Gets it underneath the Nichols. Nichols puts it up. That tipped away by Turman. Grabbed by Schaafsma. Here comes Pioneer. Cunningham brings it ahead over half court. Over to Snook to follow in the near corner. Back to Cunningham on the near wing. Cunningham over to Klein on the far wing. Klein double team. Skies it underneath to Cunningham. Cunningham puts it up off glass and it rolls in. Cunningham with 7 points. Timeout called by Monroe. 2:56 left to go. Here in the fourth, Pioneer has an 11-point lead, 49-38. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website.
Monroe to inbound on the near sideline. Gets it to Sweat. Bringing it ahead. Sweat comes over half court. Snook to follow. Picks him up from there. Sweat dribbles to his left. Now Frank has it on the near wing. Frank kicks it over. Middleton comes down into the paint. Puts it up. Puts it in. Middleton with 27 points. Pioneer by 9 points, 49-40. Cunningham brings it over half court for Pioneer. Cunningham on the far sideline, 2:25 left to go. As Schaafsma comes in, hands it off to Snook DeFalo, who rolls it home. Snook DeFalo with 17 points. Cutting the other direction, here comes Middleton for Monroe. Pioneer up 51-40. Now, Nichols slipped and travel call as he went to plant his feet, and they went out from underneath him. Hard luck bounce, Pioneer to inbound, baseline left. 30-second timeout for Pioneer. Well, boy, it's one for the ages here as Pioneer has the 11-point lead. Pioneer has 5 fouls. Monroe 9. Pioneer 51, Monroe 40. 2 minutes, 6 seconds left to go. Middleton leads all scores. He has 27 points and 2 fouls for the game. He has just been outstanding, has not missed much. Snook DeFalo leading Pioneer scores as he has 17, including some really, really timely 3-point shooting to push Pioneer up to the lead. Pioneer to inbound, Schaafsma to inbound, baseline left. Full court pressure by Monroe. Klein comes over to receive the inbound pass, gets over to Cunningham. Cunningham double team, tries to dribble out of it. as he is fouled. That is Miller's fourth foul. Pioneer in the double bonus. Cunningham shooting 2. 2:03 left to go. Cunningham trying to extend the lead. First shot is up off the front of the rim. 11-point lead. Cunningham trying to make it a 12-point lead. Spins the ball. Dribbles again. Bends the knees. Puts it up. Puts it in. Cunningham with 8 points. Pioneer by 12. Monroe brings ahead. Middleton, top of the key. Over to McCarthy on the far wing. McCarthy heads towards the paint. Kicks it over in the near corner. Back over to Middleton. Nichols underneath. Bounce passes it over to McCarthy. He loses it out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 1 minute, 48 seconds left to go. Here in the fourth. Pioneer by 12. Timeout called by Monroe. They want to talk things over. Well, let's talk about our upcoming schedule of broadcasts coming up. As we have a number of wonderful broadcasts. We're always trying to cover as many teams as we can. We can't be everywhere we want to be. We try and be everywhere we can be. So coming up tomorrow, it is going to be Pioneer men's varsity hockey as they take on Father Gabriel Richard from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. That in the stadium rink. That will be at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, we'll give you a break for my voice. Then Friday, I will be on the road. I'm going to be at State College for Michigan women's hockey versus Penn State. That's 7:30 Friday and 5:20 Saturday. For some have ever been to State College, so I'm excited about that. We will have the Pioneer women's hockey versus Washtenaw United, 5:30 at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, followed immediately, hopefully in the same rink if Murphy's Law doesn't bite me. Hopefully in the same rink, Pioneer men's hockey will be at 7:30 on Friday versus Grosse Ile. Then we'll have the Pioneer men's hockey game versus Huron at 4:30 on Saturday. 1 minute, 48 seconds left to go. Pioneer, the inbound. Schaafsma looks for a place to go with it. Gets it to Klein. Klein trying to dribble out of a double team. That moved over. Coming ahead, Snook to follow. Skies it over to Cunningham. Cunningham all the way over. That intercepted by Frank. He goes down hard. Both Ingles and Schaafsma pick him up. Good sportsmanship. One minute, 37 seconds left to go. Pioneer by 12. Monroe with the ball. Frank inbounds it. McCarthy brings it over half court. Cunningham watching him. McCarthy comes on the near wing. Snook to follow, picks him up there. Over to Frank on the far sideline. Frank comes top of the key. Hands off to Middleton. Middleton, top of the key. Over on the near side to Guyman. Guyman off glass, rolls off the front of the rim. Tip back up and good by Guyman. Guyman with 4 points. Schaafsma brings it ahead. Pioneer by 10 points. Full court pressure. 1 minute, 4 seconds left to go. Quickly ahead and Turman went to pitch it back to Cunningham, and Cunningham had just started to cut towards the basket. Little miscommunication gives Monroe the ball. Pioneer 52, Monroe 42. 1 minute, 2 seconds left to go. As Sweat brings the ball ahead for Monroe. Snook to follow watching him. Sweat comes to the baseline on the near side. Kicks it back to McCarthy, top of the key. He gets a screen from Guyman. Kicks it back to Sweat on the near wing. Hands off to Middleton. Middleton for 3. Middleton off the front of the rim. One of the few misses he's had. Gets it back. Puts it up for 3 again. And he hits it. Middleton now has 30 points to lead all scores. Pioneer quickly ahead as that went off of Monroe, off of Nichols. Pioneer ball. 34.3 seconds left to go. Pioneer by 7, 52-45. Monroe clawing, digging, doing everything they can to try and get back in this game. Pioneer over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow brings it ahead over to Schaafsma. Schaafsma coming down the far sideline. Over to Klein. Klein over to Cunningham. Cunningham back to Snook to follow. 24 seconds left to go. Sweat fouls Snook to follow. 23 seconds left to go. Snook DeFalo puts up the first shot, that off the front of the rim. 7-point lead by Pioneer, looking to make it 8. Snook DeFalo has been fantastic. Puts it up, that rolls around and down. 18 points for Snook DeFalo. Pioneer with a 8-point lead, 23 seconds left to go. Pioneer 53. As we're in a timeout here. Pioneer 53, Monroe 45. Pioneer with 6 fouls, 1 more foul, and Monroe will be in the bonus. Pioneer already in the double bonus. Taking a look at your scores so far for Pioneer. 18 points for Snook DeFalo. 10 points for Turman, 8 points for Schaafsma, 8 points for Cunningham, 2 points for Uhas, 5 points for Klein, 2 points for Rink. On the other side, 30 points by Middleton. He has 2/3 of the points for the team. 2 points for Nichols, 5 points by McCarthy, 1 point for Sweat, and 4 points for Guyman. Monroe with the ball, Sweat inbound, baseline right. Pioneer has the 8-point lead. Middleton puts up a 3-pointer from the top of the key. Nichols trying to get it, puts it up, wouldn't fall. Cunningham with the rebound. He gets fouled. 12.8 seconds left to go. Cunningham will go down and shoot some free throws. Nichols fouled out. 5 fouls, 2 points. Oh, he was a beast in the paint. Roberts comes in for Monroe. Cunningham shooting 2. Spins the ball. Bends the knees, puts it up. Off the back of the rim. 1 more coming. Cunningham dribbles, puts it up, puts it in. Cunningham with 9 points. Pioneer by 9. As there's the 3-pointer that pulled away. Pioneer ahead as Cunningham has it with 1 second left to go. Pioneer wins the game. Pioneer 54, Monroe 45. As we thank you very much, as Best Tradition of All of Sports, the post-game handshake happening across the way. As we said, we will be back tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. game, as it's Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey versus Father Gabriel Richard. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you to everyone who are cheering on the teams. What a great game. Thank you, and have a great night.